All right, let's have fun with FunPlus on about CTV and TV. So we'll start by a little bit of introduction and then jump to the more business side. But I'm from Edge226, so we're a platform that helps advertisers, apps and games run ads on CTV and in-app and offer wall. But Enric?
Hey everyone, I'm Enric Cabestany. I'm the VP of Global Publishing at FunPlus. FunPlus is one of the largest cross-platform gaming private companies worldwide. We're based in Switzerland, in Zug, and we have offices across Asia, Europe, and US. Some of our games, the recent titles that we launched is Tile Survive, Foundation, and previously this year, DSC Dark Legion. And we have some games like State of Survival, Guns of Glory, King of Avalon that have been there for almost 7-8 years in the row.
And what's your favorite game?
Of all of them?
Yeah.
Right now it's
Everybody-
Tile Survive. It's pretty awesome.
Great.
It's performing really good. But also Foundation. Foundation, I wasn't expecting that it was this type of sci-fi game, that it's so nice and it's engaging a lot of people that were willing to have these new sci-fi type of games in this genre where we are experts in SLG. And I'm pretty happy about how this is performing.
Yeah. Did you like the TV show?
Well, I've seen the first and the second season.
Yeah,
I haven't started the third one yet.
Okay, yeah, I have some episodes to watch on the plane to New York, so that's my plan for tomorrow. But besides FunPlus games, what's your favorite app? What do you use right now?
Well, one of them that my wife always tell me, you need to stop playing it or testing it or whatever. It's Instagram and TikTok. Why I'm doing that? I'm not using it more than 30 minutes a day, but the reason is because, together with my teams and my folks, we're all the day testing the new trends that we're feeling that the market is receiving, and then we need to be really, really aware about the trends of the industry. And the excuse is that, but finally you ended up just switching into something else, and it's crazy how they engage the users and how they are doing it so well. But honestly, I prefer just to limit that into 30 minutes a day maximum.
Yeah, until your wife tells you to stop. My wife always tells me to stop playing Marvel Snap, so that's my addiction. So great. And then app that you deleted, app that you had, it says, okay, need to get off my phone.
I will say Strava was the last one that I deleted because recently I downloaded a new app from friends of mine who created Virtuo. Virtuo is a running new app that they developed that help you to do some trainings specifically for your races, for a specific type of timings that you want to do in your day-to-day sports, and that's the reason why I started testing that one.
Great. Okay, let's talk business. So
Sure.
CTV, you woke up one day and you decided to test CTV. But why? What happened? What drove you to start testing?
I would say that it was easy. IDFA came, and I think that the majority of the industry, we were looking for different ways to find out engagement with users or ways to connect with the users. And the second one, of course, AppsFlyer allow us to measure it, and that was one of the biggest reasons why we started testing it.
Great. And so how did you find the measurement and the AppsFlyer? Just for the crowd that is thinking about testing CTV, was it easy to integrate? Was it easy to start with AppsFlyer?
It's super easy. They have their tool where you can jump in and you can just run it as a UA campaign, traditional UA campaign, and then you can just check on the same type of measurements that you want to check, more or less, on ROAS and CPM, CPI, CPA, whatever you define, and then it's pretty easy. And I think that the teams are quite used to it for the UA side. So it's really
it was amazing. Like we started doing CTV about 3 years ago, but once AppsFlyer got into the business and AppsFlyer said this is legit and we can measure it, we went from I think like about 5-10% of our business doing CTV to now about 60%. So the fact that AppsFlyer and now Adjust and Singular and Branch all are supporting CTV just helped push that market to the next level. I'm trying to convince them to also now start measuring linear TV, but that's not a priority yet.
No, but I think that this is something that, if all the industry goes at the same path, and now, at least with the gaming industry, that is becoming super measurable, and we're really performance-based, so having these kind of tools that help you to measure the channels that you're testing every day, it's super, super important.
Yeah, I came from the video advertising industry where we help car marketers and grocery stores sell product. And there was never like a standard in measurement, and coming in and seeing how AppsFlyer is the Bible, the measurement, the judge and the jury. It's hard from one sense, but it makes the industry, like when AppsFlyer decides to get into something, it helps push the whole industry to that direction.
Just be aware that none of us are paid by AppsFlyer.
No.
Just
Yeah. But I think they're about to get acquired. So if you have any AppsFlyer stocks, you might.
You might be happy right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they're talking about, I saw today, a $3 billion acquisition. So good for them. So how did the CTV help reshape or rethink the way that you think about user acquisition, mobile, desktop? You also have apps and games and on devices. So how are you thinking about things differently?
I think we've been moving from just mobile games into multi-platform games, and this also showed us that there's different ways to engage these type of users that maybe are willing to use PC games or any other type of platforms rather than just the mobile. And we've been feeling that the TV is super appealing for those type of users, and also the way the call to action that you can generate over there, it's good. Also, we need to say that we're really focused also on creativity, and creativity is really relevant for this type of channel, and it helps to increase the engagement of these type of campaigns.
So how do you think about creative? Like I talk to a lot of companies and they're like, oh, TV ads is very expensive. But then I talked to one guy downstairs and he's like, oh, see what I did with an AI, and the creative is really impressive. So how did you think about it?
I think in the beginning we started trying to reuse the same ads that we were using for traditional UA. But as far as we started moving on and deep into the connected TV, we started seeing that as much as you try to adapt those creativities with more appealing ads for those type of media, it's better. And we have a lot of cinematics that are coming from our games. For example, State of Survival has been doing so many cross-promotion with different IPs, or recently DC Dark Legion has been growing so fast with this powerful IP. So as much good creativity you have for those type of big devices, it's better.
Have you started playing with AI tools to create creatives for TV, or is still like designers and manual work?
Yeah, definitely AI is a super powerful tool for not just creativity, for any kind of specific development that you have in a game, in the gaming industry. But I will say that on the creative side, it helps us a lot. It helps us a lot in order to try to optimize the process of creation. So before, just to put you an example, a video creative, it could took like a week to develop by itself, and now we reduce by almost 60% the timing of creating this specific ad. Not 100% on AI, definitely. And you've seen so many different new tools like Sora 3 or something like this that is helping you a lot. But at the end, you need to have artists on the back in order to try to create the right prompts, to try to adjust the result that is delivering these type of platforms. And I think that as much as the creative people plays with these tools, they are creating amazing things in order to try to promote our games.
Yeah. We ran a campaign that was generated by AI, and the voiceover did not match the actors, so it was pretty obvious. So those are the type of things, especially when you're in CTV and it's a 60-inch screen, 70-inch screens. You want to make sure that the creative is high quality, and people listen to the as compared to mobile ads or TikTok ads where people are just in the ad and are watching. When you're doing CTV ads, people are using the break to do other things. So the sound and and the volume is very important.
Voiceover, the localization, everything like this, it's something that it's amazing that you can do it super fast and adapt for different geos and so on.
Yeah, so how much localization do you do? Like, how do you think about
A
localization?
lot. So our first market, of course, is US, and then the Western markets in Europe. But also we have so many users in Southeast Asia, in different countries in Asia, like Japan and so on. So we're trying to localize in different geos, and we're trying to focus specifically in those geos with specific ads for them, but also with the same language, with the same translations that we need to do and everything.
And how do you think about CTV? Is it a standalone channel, or do you look at it in conjunction with other channels like TikTok or in-app ads or video ads?
I think that we're just experimenting a massive growth of different channels that are upcoming for the industry, not just for mobile games. I would say also for any type of apps. The users are spread out in different type of networks like TikToks or Instagrams of the world, but also with the connected TV. So you can approach them in a different levels and in a different ways. And we're trying to be first movers in this type of new channels. And we, some time ago, I've been having a discussion with a friend of mine from a big agency, media agencies, that they used to sell TV and they used to sell radio, and they had a very hard time when the internet came, right? But right now they are seeing that all channels that we used to say are starting to become measurables. And then they see that a lot of their clients, they are asking for this measurability. And then they are seeing that working with companies like you on the connected TV, having the MMPs helping them to measure, but also not just connected TV. You can do audiobooks, you can do influencer marketing. You can do so many different type of channels at this moment that are starting to be way more measurable than it used to be before.
Yeah, and just to give you a sense of the measurement, it's IP to IP advertisement, right? So the person sees the ad on the TV, the CTV has an IP, and AppsLayer or Adjust or any other MMP will match the IP address of the TV to the IP address of the device that it was installed. And since most of the TV ads viewing is at home, the people are in the same network. So we see like around 80 to 90% match rate between the two IP addresses. So that's how the measurement is done. But what do you think CTV needs to do, or the industry needs to do to get to the next level? Like what limits CTV from becoming the #1 channel for you guys?
#1 channel is still UA, at least for the mobile games, traditional UA, because of the volume that you can see. When CTV is starting to get in the same type of volume that you can feel with the UA traditional channels that we have, then we're going to be considering it as a very large channel for acquisition, for user acquisition. But at this moment, I think that the scale is pretty decent. They are growing so fast. There's a lot of applications. There's a lot of TVs that are offering these services to their clients, and I think that this is good for the industry, and this is good for not just gaming, as I said, for any type of app. And I think that one of the challenges that CTV will have for the next period of time is on how they can make the click-to-call action more feasible to any type of client. For example, if I'm Expedia, or if I'm booking and I'm just promoting a trip to Greece right now, and I need to just scan the QR code and then send me to the last flights that you can buy. So the call to action and the active purchase is something that it's going to be the Shopifying of this experience. It's going to be something that it's going to be really good for this.
Yeah, and another consideration, another thing that people are worried about running CTV is the price. So they see Netflix or Disney running ads for like $40, $50 CPM. What's your experience? Like, how do you manage the cost of CTV? Are you looking at remnant inventory, and what's the performance?
We start normally with low budgets. We start checking on the performance. As you know, as part Chinese company, because we're Swiss, but also we're part Chinese, We measure a lot, and we try to check on a day-to-day basis. And connected TV needs a little bit longer time in order to try to get the specific conversions. So I think that this is one of the main points that we need to try to improve a little bit together within the industry. But again, on the measurability, anything that is going into ROAS or even the CPIs, and we measure it as a whole campaign. We don't do that as specific, just, hey, this is a CTV campaign, or this is an influencer campaign, or this is a podcast campaign. We just mix it into a global specific campaign that we launch, and then we try to lower down the CPIs for acquisition.
And so what's your main KPIs when you're looking at CTV campaigns?
ROAS and CPI, I will see. And then we try to measure the uplift in some specific timings that are coming.
And you see good enough results with CTV to continue the.
Of course, we've been testing some agencies. We've been looking for new ones, of course, and every game is open to test new initiatives. And when they start having the good trend for the revenues that we're expecting, then we're allowing them to test new different channels. On the beginning, they start just with the traditional UA channels in order to reach what they are expecting. And then when they reach specific numbers, then we open them the possibility to start reaching different type of channels that are more appealing for them.
And do you see a specific type of app or a game that works better on CTV versus others?
I will say the ones that have more cinematic kind of trailers are better because of the type of creatives that we display on CTV. But it's the same as in user acquisition. There's different type of networks that are more appealing for different type of games. For example, in our case, if you go into AppLovin, the type of users that they are having are different than the type of users that Meta is offering you, and the type of users that TikTok is offering to you. So depending on the type of games that you have, if you're going to be launching a game that is like ours, Guns of Glory, 8-9 years old game, that it's been there for a while, and the type of play game, it's not that appealing for those type of users. Instead of that, if we test it with Tile Survive, that is more like casualist type of game for those audiences of those networks, is how we address this type of campaigns.
Yeah, and that's why my recommendation is always to test. Like, we don't know the answer. We don't know if something will, by 100% will work. So, you can start testing, you can start with small budgets and see if things work, and just scale with that.
Yeah, definitely. I encourage everyone here in the room to test it. Definitely, it's something that is pretty good, and we've been seeing so very good performance.
So, last question before we open it to everybody. What would you recommend for the people here that are thinking about running CTV? Like any best practices or things to think about before deciding to jump into the water?
I think that we all know how the situation is evolving right now. When you're in front of the TV, you are not just looking at the TV itself, you're also with your phone device at the same time. So it's a way that you really can be approaching that user and impacting them. If you're capable to create some specific hooks in those ads that you're going to be generating really fast in this new channel, you're going to be capable to engage different type of users. As much as the platform advances in order to generate more, let's say, shoppability or call to actions to the users at the end, I think it's going to be something that is going to be really used for so many different industry players, not only the gaming industry.
Yeah, I agree. People are sitting in front of the TV with their phones, and whenever they go to commercial break, you can just do an experiment. Just sit with your family. The first thing they do is just, they don't start talking to each other. It used to be that everybody went to the kitchen and grabbed something to eat. Now everybody goes to the phone and check what's going on. So that's why the impact of CTV ads for apps and games is critical. So last few minutes, any questions? Anybody wants to know anything about CTV, best practices?
Just one more thing before you end. Please test it, but don't do that as a branding channel. Need to think that this is a performance-based channel. So it will help you to track every kind of campaign that you're going to be running. So I've seen so many ads in CTV that they are not doing any kind of call to action. It's just a branding more, and this is kind of, sorry, stupid thing, right? To do, if you have that powerful channel, use it as it max. So try to do some call to action right after in order to make this ad interactive.
100%. You should ask the vendor or the partner to show the results on your MMP. If you cannot monitor or measure the result of the CTV campaign on your MMP, then it's basically a branding channel, and that's not what we're here for, right? We're here for the performance and the results and the growth. So yeah, look at it as a measurable KPI, CPA. There's definitely partners and vendors that even think about the pricing of CTV in a CPA basis.
Even the partners are going to be helping you to adapt the creatives that you are having and provide you their experiences with cases that they had before. They're going to be proposing you if this ad is going to be more appealing or not, what type of kind of ad you need to deliver, how the hook needs to be in the 3 to 5 seconds, then how you're going to be engaging, and then how it's going to be the end call of the ad.
Okay, we've got some questions. Got a lot of questions, but I actually have a question. When you use your creatives, do you create through your vendor that's going to be doing the CTVs, or do you hire an outside creative agency, or do you hire a more traditional ad agency, or do you do it yourself via Sora?
We do it ourselves, not via Sora. We do it with our amazing creative team that we have in-house. So we have an internal agency that fulfills all the games in the company, and we create ads specifically. So before it used to be like 10%, 90-10, sorry. Today, so 90 produced outside with agencies and 10 produced inside. Right now, it's the other way around. So we're producing internally around 80%, and 20% is produced outside with outsourcing companies.
And do you think that's going to change with AI, or you think you're still going to employ them?
Our teams are working really, really fast and adapting really well on the AI tools that are coming into the market. Also, we developed our own tools. So we check every tool that is in the market, and we try to replicate those tools in our internal AI tool that fits every single department of the company. And then we try to adapt, and we do trainings internally in the company. All the creative teams, they work together. They are in the same groups, in the same chats. When someone in Portugal or in Lisbon discovers a new app that it's upcoming, they share it, and actually the teams in China already know in 24 hours. Or someone in Barcelona shares something in Portugal and in China or US, they already know it. So exchanging this information is so important, and for us it's so fast on how we adapt on AI tools in order to create.
Awesome. So first question that got 3 upvotes is CTV in EU, European Union countries. Does it really work, performance marketing? And what are the restraints, and what would be your best practices? So much.
I can say from our perspective, the markets that have the highest CTV penetrations are US, Canada, UK, Germany, and Australia. So definitely in the UK and Germany, you can test CTV very comfortably. That being said, there's other countries, and it's growing. It keeps adding. The TV channels, the producers, see that that's where the audience is going to. They're trying to monetize, so the inventory keeps growing in all of the other countries. So definitely test and ask the vendors on performance and possibilities. Yeah, so I would definitely test. If there's any limitations, we haven't seen limitations beyond the regular limitations. So for example, like, there's rules about gambling and things like that. So you have to follow those rules, but other than that, it is bought like any programmatic channel. You bid, and the highest bidder wins the auction.
On top of that, I will add only that the Asian markets are starting to use it as well. So there's a lot of different CTV channels that are going to be appearing in the next upcoming months in Asian markets. Yeah, China specifically.
Yeah, and Korea and Japan for sure.
Okay, so when buying CTV in the US, many providers offer a channel agnostic approach. Is that available in Spain? And if not, when do you think it might be?
Yes, so from our perspective, I don't think we think about, even in the US, we don't think about CTV as a channel agnostic. We look at things holistically. We prefer to test CTV, OTT, in-app rewarded, and see what's the best performance is coming in and double down. I think there's a question about the initial investment. You start putting like, 10K, 20K, and you start seeing results. So start running with that. You see good results, you start doubling down and performance would improve. If after, 10K, 20K, the CPIA are still very high, the ROAS is not where it should be, then try a different channel. But yeah, even in Spain.
I agree.
And this is programmatic machine learning. So then is there going to be a problem if you have the 10,000, 20,000, then you stop the campaign? Does it have to relearn to ramp up again? Or should you moderate and like, oh, I got 20K, maybe I should do 7K a month?
So it depends on the vendor. So like there are vendors who are only CTV, right? So if you go with them, then you put the money and you have to go to a different vendor. From our side, we do multiple channels. We're cross-channel, so you don't lose the learning, right? So the learning that you have from CTV will apply to in-app, apply to rewarded, and things like that. So I think it's the answer would be platform dependent rather than a generic. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Thank you for doubling up on those questions. Helps us with time. What would be your advice, either of you, for defining the streaming channel to go for? How do you measure and define affinity?
Depending on the type of game that you're planning to advertise. So it's like what I said also in traditional user acquisition. We're trying to fit specifically on the type of audience that channel is having. So I will say that it's mostly appealing for different type of games, and every type of game requires different type of affinity of users that they have in that channel.
Yeah, from our perspective, we go broad and we start narrowing. So I never know from advance, and I don't think that any machine knows that the home channel or the cooking channel will perform better than the golf channel. So what we do is we go broad, and then the machine learning starts to optimize and goes and selects the channels that we see the best performance. So I'd recommend not choosing and saying, hey, I only want sports. I would say try all of them, see which works. Sometimes you might not get the highest amount of people, but the CPMs would be lower. So that's still good, right? So test, try multiple channels, try a broad approach, and then start narrowing down and locking to the ones that work for you.
But normally it's you guys, the agencies, who recommend the clients on, okay, this game is more appealing for these type of channels, and then because you have the experience of all those clients that you have already, right?
Yeah, we don't see ourselves as an agency. We see ourselves as a technology platform. So for us, it's like let the machine learn and decide for you, rather than saying that this game is for female 45 to 55, and then you should do these channels because that's the best fit for them. You'd be surprised. You never know where's your audience, where the audience
definitely
is. You run it and see and optimize.
Okay.
Juan?
Question? Yeah.
Juan, can you flip back over to the questions? Juanito. Preguntas. So what was your major challenge when starting and growing the use of CTV? Was it more performance evaluation or picking the right creatives, etc.?
I would say first convincing every team game that they need to try different channels in order to find their audiences. But the second point is, as we're part Chinese are super performance driven, and they want to see the results super fast. And if you want to compare CTV with a UA where you can change in 24 hours the performance of the campaign or limit or block the campaign, it's not going to happen this way. So convincing them that we need some time in order to try to do the best performance. It was the most challenging thing. But once we started testing it and we got these initial budgets in order to show them the results, then they saw that the performance was good enough in order to keep going.
Yeah, 100%. Like when I talk to clients, potential clients, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, we don't want to add another channel." I'm like, "Why not? Maybe it's going to be the best channel ever, so why not try?" So I would always recommend people to try and test and see what works and what doesn't.
All right, one more. Oh, actually, does anyone here, throughout all these answers, does anyone here organically in IRL have any questions that I could run over the mic to you? Nope, because you've asked them. Hey, we got one. Thank you. Get me my steps in. Antonio.
Thank you. Okay, so my question is, what type of campaigns are available for CTV? CPI, ROAS, eCPM? How, the algorithm optimize?
Yeah, so I would say all of them. You can run CPM, you can run CPI, you can run even CPA. I would encourage, as a performance marketer, as all in the room, I would look at CPA and see the results from that, because you're not measuring your other campaigns on a different way. So you should measure CTV on the same level and the same basis that you measure everything else. So I would encourage you to, like, if you're ROAS based, look at the ROAS. If you're CPI, do it in the CPI.
Okay, but there's still no ROAS algorithm campaigns that...
AppsLayer, at least from an AppsLayer, and I think Adjust as well, they can measure the ROAS on the CTV campaign.
Yeah,
so
I know,
report
but I mean, the algorithm is not going to focus, on getting the best ROAS.
Our platform definitely looks like you can put the ROAS as a key measurement. And then, although it takes, some clients are day 7, day 30, so it takes some time and you need more patient, but we'll definitely optimize to ROAS if that's your KPI.
Amazing.
All right, we got one last one up there. It's, how long would you say the learning phase takes?
A month, more or less?
Yeah, I would say a month. It also depends on how much budget you put in. Of course, you put more, then it could go faster. The other side is how big and popular the game or the app is. Of course, for better or larger apps, the learning phase is faster. I would also say that from a CTV perspective, the apps or games that work best is when you have a very good ranking on the App Store, because usually the user experience is you see the ad on TV and then you search for it on the App Store. So if the search results, if you're number 1, 2, or 3, then CTV will be very good for you. If you're number 5, you're probably going to give free traffic to the number 1. So that's the key consideration. So the first thing I do when somebody asks me if CTV is a good channel for them, I go do the search on the App Store or the Google Play Store and see how well you're ranking, and based on that, you can see if it's going to be good potential.
So improve your ASO.
All right, great amount of questions. Thank you all for answering it. Thank you all for doing this, and then I'm about to send everyone off in a second. Great stuff. Good thing.